Welcome. Story time. I know I have already made videos on this topic, that how I got selected for ISI MSQE and how did I prepare for quantitative economics. But let's go back, rewind the time. Let's talk more about it. So the story starts in December of 2014. Yes, it's roughly around 6 years back, more than that. So in the month of December 2014, I decided that I am going to prepare for ISI MSQE. Now, what did I do? First thing which I did was, as I have already discussed in my previous video, you can find that link over here. I got hold of few books and started reading them, and also I got help from a friend. Now, after I understood that Varian is the book which I have to give a lot of time to, I started to read a lot of Varian, and the first thing which I did was read the Varian book as a story book. And I remember that I used to do a bit of odd jobs during that phase of my life, and I used to live in Delhi and I used to take the Delhi metro. So I used to have the Variant book with me. Let me just see if I have it over right now. Yeah, I have it. So I took this Variant book with me, and right now here also I have a pencil. So I also took a pencil with me in that metro ride, and I used to read the Variant book, mark the things which I found interesting, important, or difficult to understand, and then whenever I got time with the Variant book at my home, I used to go through those points again, or I used to read the next chapters or next pages. And I took 1 month to read the whole of Varian. And mind you, this was only and only about story reading, kind of a Varian reading. I did not try to understand each and every concept, but my focus was to complete this book, Varian book. Now, obviously, I have put a cover over here. Now, this cover I put on books which I find important, and I had to preserve them. So this is the cover which I guess I had put in the month of January 2015. So around 6 years. So this cover has been there for the last 6 years. I am currently also reading this Varian book because I want to prepare some kind of a lecture series on Varian. Now that lecture series won't be very didactic or pedantic in nature, but more I would say it would be in terms of finding the essence of those chapters and what to really remember from those chapters. So I'm in the process of doing those videos. So that is why I have started reading the Variant book again. Okay, let's come back to the story. So I was reading a lot of Variant, and I also understood that what all I need to read in maths, because I always had an inclination towards mathematics from my class 7 8 onwards. Yes, I was not a very good student till class 6 7 in mathematics, but things changed towards the end of class 7. So I understood that these are the things which I have to read in maths. And I also took a coaching. Now I don't know if that coaching helped me or not, but that kind of made my life a bit more routine like, because I used to take the Delhi metro for that coaching as well. So I used to go there, and I don't remember exactly why they taught what they taught and how they taught, but what I understand is their way of teaching was certainly not suited for me. Uh, Maybe their target audience was different. Maybe they were targeting people who already know a lot about economics, and they want to know a bit more about mathematical economics problem solving, and they want to brush up on their maths, maybe because they are not that great in maths. Because if you prepare for JEE maths, then a lot of the maths questions in a lot of entrance examinations will look very easy to you, and you can prepare them, and it's only a matter of practice and speed. But if you have not prepared for JEE, then you have to prepare for maths for each and every exam. That is why in my videos, in my preparation plan, and every time whenever I talk to anyone who is interested in sitting for any exam which has mathematics component, I ask them to read JEE Mathematics, because JEE Mathematics is a very good solid foundation for preparing for any competitive examination. Now obviously if you are preparing for CAT, you need a lesser level of preparation. You want to strengthen your class 9-10 mathematics, and if you are preparing for, let's say, GATE, then probably you need to do more than JEE Maths. So yes, things can change here and there, but the core problem is you have to master JEE Mathematics, and when you do that, a lot of your exams are taken care of. So that was my focus, JEE Mathematics plus Variant. And I got hold of DSC's previous year question papers. Now yes, those days a lot of resources were not available very readily on the internet, and maybe it would have been available, but I was not aware about those resources. So I remember that I went to Delhi School of Economics Xerox Center, and from that Xerox Center I got hold of the last 10-15 years of question papers. I don't remember 10 or 15 or maybe 25 years question papers, but I got a very thick book of question papers, or rather a thick spiraled xeroxed question papers. Now this was a lot for me. Previous year question papers, variant, mathematics. So I spent a lot of time doing these things. And IGADR exam was something which I was thinking of appearing for, but then I decided that let me just focus on Delhi School of Economics, JNU, and ISI, because I wanted to be in Delhi as well. Because I was in Delhi and I kind of like Delhi because I like Delhi food. I till now haven't gone to a place in India where the food is as good as Delhi's food. So that was one factor that I wanted to live in Delhi. That is why probably I did not give IGIDR in the first attempt in the year of 2015, that is. So I gave DSC, ISI and JNU. And I remember that the JNU exam was a bit tricky for me, because I had gone to someone's home for getting some documents, because my documents were in somebody else's house. Yes, my life was pretty much disorganized in those ways. So I had to get my admit card or something. I don't remember which document I wanted to get, but I had to go to that house first and then come from that house and go to the JNU exam center. So that gave me roughly 10 to 15 minutes of a delay in the examination center, and obviously it also increased my tension a bit. And when I entered in the examination hall, I was a bit tensed and a bit pumped up, and that pumped up was not in the good sense, but rather my heart was racing because of the tension. So I'm not giving this alibi for my bad performance in JNU, but I'm just trying to tell you a good story. Rather just a story, good or bad depends on you. So I gave the JNU exam, I came out of it, and I thought that I had done reasonably well and I could get selected for it. So in that process, JNU went Delhi School of Economics. Then Delhi School of Economics exam was the last exam which I gave that year. First was ISI, then it was JNU, then DSC, Delhi School of Economics. For Delhi School of Economics, the question paper was so difficult that I was disheartened, because I specifically remember that those days my statistics was pretty bad, and I really did not prepare any econometrics, and most of the questions in DSC were from econometrics or some difficult concept in microeconomics or macro, which I did not read. So I had a very tough time in DSC entrance, and I understood that I'm not getting through this exam. But then I got to know that Delhi School of Economics generally has a tough paper and they give grace marks. Now I'm talking about 2015, right? So things might have changed now, and they give grace marks so that you at least reach the cutoff. Now once you reach the cutoff, you have two kinds of admission process. One is your regular admission through the entrance test, and the other through the Delhi University route. That if you have done your graduation from DU in economics, then you have a different cutoff. So this was back in 2015. Now things might have changed. I'm not saying that this is happening till now. You will have to Google it up, or rather I will Google it up and let you know in a future video. So this was about Delhi School of Economics and JNU. Now let me just do a bit of memento style and go back to ISI, the first exam which I gave. So the ISI exam was in two parts. First part was your maths part, an objective maths paper, and the second part was your subjective economics paper. So when I gave the first part, the objective maths paper, in it was a strange paper because generally in a lot of competitive examinations, if you have solved 60 to 70% of the questions, then you are pretty much through. But the ISI question paper and the how do I put it, the competition is such that out of 25 questions, if you're not able to solve 20 to 23, then your selection is pretty dicey. And I think that I solved around 20 or 21 correct, and maybe one or two I might have made an educated guess. So I came out of the exam hall and people were talking about that I attempted 24, I attempted 23, and I was like, okay, so probably the cutoff won't be 20ish or 15ish, it will be towards 25 only. So I was a bit worried, but I thought that maybe they are bluffing. But still, I just went for having my lunch. I read a bit of Solo Swan model. Now, in macro, there are few things which I used to read in those days. There was like a Solo Swan model, and then you have your exchange rates and how to convert from one exchange to other exchange. I mean, simple questions. Generally, I was avoiding macro. In micro also, my focus was that I will not read anything which is related to game theory, because my game theory was not that great. Then happened your second paper, subjective paper. The subjective paper was obviously not related to macro a lot or game theory, but even the microeconomics questions were difficult to crack because I was of that bent of mind that I will just do the first order conditions and optimize and check the second order conditions if the need be so. But most of the questions in my year were so difficult that I was not even able to proceed from the second step. I mean, there are, let's say, multiple stages in solving a question. So I was getting stuck in the second stage itself, and most of the questions in ISI have 5-6 stages. So I understood that, okay, this is not happening, and I need to look for other exams, and that is why my hopes were very much on JNU exam, because DSC was also not that great for me. So I was waiting eagerly for JNU exam results, and the whole month of July I just kept on asking people about JNU results. So there's a forum called Economics Entrance Weebly. So those days that forum was quite active. So I used to hang out in that forum a lot, that is the result out, is the result out. Then I have a friend in JNU, she was doing PhD. So I used to always ask her that is the exam result out, is the exam result out. And somebody posted in that forum the exam result, and I saw that my name is not in that result, and I thought that maybe they will give a second list or a waiting list. I kept on looking for a waiting list, and probably the waiting list never came. After a few weeks, even the DSC entrance result came, and I was not selected in that DSC result. At the end of July, I decided that okay, this year is over. I am not getting through DSC, ISI, or JNU. So I decided that okay, let me take up a proper job. So I moved to Mumbai and I started working with a startup in a very different kind of a role: content development, animation, teaching physics, and all those things. So during that phase, there was bit of preparation from my side, but most of the preparation was scattered, and I thought that maybe I'll give more preparation time in the month of January, February, March, and towards the exam time. But again, I could not prepare that well. So again, I was sitting for exams without any good amount of preparation. This time I appeared for IGIDR as well, but I have already talked about this in a previous video, that my IGIDR experience was very, very unlucky in the first attempt. I missed out the cutoff by just zero point 0.6 marks. And when I was giving the exam, I saw a lot of coordinate geometry questions. And I remember that there is no coordinate geometry question in ISI, MSQE or DSC or even let's say JNU. So I was not even preparing coordinate geometry. So when I saw coordinate geometry in the IGIDR question paper, I knew that I could miss the cutoff. But I just missed the cutoff by 0.6 marks, which to me was quite unpalatable. And I thought that if probably I would have read coordinate geometry, I would have got a high rank in IGIDR, and probably I could have got a seat in the year of 2016. So if I would have entered IGIDR in 2016, I would have graduated in 2018, and by now I would have been having a 2-3 years of work post my masters. I started my masters only in the year of 2018, and I have started my work very recently. So that was the thing. And obviously, if I had qualified for IGIDR, I would have not gone on to study in ISI in the year of 2018. So that was my IGIDR experience. Now with that 0.6 marks of missing the cutoff, I had to give the ISI's entrance test. Now ISI's entrance test again was like a repeat telecast of 2015. So the same thing happened in 2015, that I could not get almost all the questions in maths correct, and my PEB part was not great, the subjective part, and the same thing happened in 2016 as well. So after this debacle, I also gave DSC, but I did not give JNU because I had already moved to Mumbai and moving to Delhi was not a priority now. I decided that my exam giving days are over. So in the year of 2016, I decided to put a full stop to my economics entrance preparation. So that was July 2016. So in July 2016, I decided to only and only focus on becoming a data scientist. Yes, so I dropped the idea of becoming an economics master's and thought of becoming a data scientist. And I thought I will do anything what is needed for it. So I downloaded this book called ISLR, Introduction to Statistical Learning. This is a very good book. If you want to get an introduction to data science, this is perhaps the best book. Now, the point here is that I decided to become a data scientist, and my route was really not a matured route, and I thought that I would do some kind of internship, some kind of course, take no salary or very less salary, do anything and everything to become a data scientist. So in the year of 2016 and a part of 2017, I devoted to just learning about data science. And I don't know what happened, that luckily I started teaching data science. Rather than becoming a data scientist, I taught data science at an analytics institute. Now that was a part-time role. So in the process of becoming a data scientist, I started teaching data science. But obviously that was a short-lived role, and I had to do some full-time course because that was not that was not getting me towards anything. So in the month of March or April 2017, I decided that okay, I need to again think about sitting for exams, and this time what all do I like? I like finance, I like economics, and I like data, which all courses can give me a career in finance, economics, and data. So I started doing a bit of my research, and I realized that if I do an unconventional route to that, because there is no course which combines finance, economics, and data and promises you a very good career. So you have to make your own path. So I decided that why not prepare for CAT and go to an IIM, do courses along with it, and when you're giving your interviews, appear only for those interviews which have analytical profiles, and also sit for off-campus placements, because going to an IIM would at least give you some kind of an exposure to the outside world, what career options which you can have. So that was one route to it. But obviously, if I'm speaking to you right now after doing my master's in quantitative economics from ISI, it means that I did not qualify for any good IIM. So that was the story in the month of January 2018. So in January 2018, I decided that okay, this is the end of the IIM story. But obviously, I still like economics, finance, and data. What all courses I have on offer till now. So I found out that I have PGDBA, I have MGMT from IISc in business analytics, and then obviously I have MSQE, and obviously there was a new course in 2018 called CMI MSc Data Science. So CMI MSc Data Science was getting launched in that year, and ISC's MGMT, Masters in Management in Business Analytics, was taking CAT scores as the cutoff. So I qualified the initial round. So, but the interview process did not go well, and I could not move to the next stage, and I was not offered any seat there. Now I gave the CMI's data science test, and I qualified that, and there was no interviews. So I had an offer from CMI's MSc in data science, and I also gave ISI this year. Now in 2018, the ISI paper was in such a way which suited me. The maths paper was according to my liking. The economics paper was also according to my liking, because though I did not score that high, but if the economics paper was a bit more tough, I would not have made the cutoff, because economics can be made tough to any extent, but it was of a modest tough category. So I qualified the cutoffs, gone through the interview, and because of my high maths scores, that's my presumption, I got through ISI. Now, what is the learning of this? The learning is that you cannot decide that I will give 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, and I will get through ISI. You cannot say that there is immense amount of competition and it is ISI stuff. It is all a matter of perseverance and dedication towards your goal, and have backup options. Take the learnings that I started with no backup or limited backups. Then I diversified. I realized that what do I really like? I like finance, data, and economics. So I found out the courses which give me that kind of an exposure in finance, economics, and data. So you do not have to restrict yourself to one course like ISI MSQE, but your net must not be that wide also that you are putting anything and everything. Do not prepare for a lot of exams having entirely different focus areas. Try to prepare for exams which have some kind of connection with your interest. You have to find that interest, what you really want to do, because your interest is something which is personal to you, and there is no course which is designed as per as your interest. Trust me, because any master's course, any bachelor's course was made a lot before than you probably might have taken birth, and it must have been designed through their lens. So you need to find your own niche, and that will only happen when you are very clear about what you really want from your career. And once you decide few things, that these are the 4 or 5 subjects or 2 or 3 areas of interest which I have, then find out the courses which kind of help you in getting through those subject areas, or getting those subject area courses, or rather getting that subject related careers. So find out the courses which are according to your liking, and don't make those courses list very wide. It has to have some kind of relation, and then have backup plans ready, and do not give up in the first attempt. I understand few people do not have that liberty of trying for multiple attempts, but let us say you do have that liberty, let us say you can try for 2-3 years or 1 year, then do give it a shot. And let us say that you are in first year or second year of your college and you have 1 or 2 years already for your preparation time. So don't waste that. Don't prepare in your final year. Give 2 years of preparation time. That will give you a better head start and a better idea as to what all is needed in the exam. And try to interact with people who are preparing for the similar exams or preparing for the exams which you're sitting for. So try to make a network. And this is all I wanted to do. I wanted to give you a better version, or rather I should not say better version, I should not have a value judgment, rather a longer version of how I really made into ISI. Because no 5 to 6 minutes video, or rather it was a roughly less than around 7 to 8 minutes video. So no 7 to 8 minutes video could do justice to what I actually did to get into ISI, or rather what I did for preparing for masters in economics. So that is why I had made this video, so that you understand that you need to give a lot of time, and time is the only thing which will help you strengthen the concepts. Because see, if you are very smart, you would not be watching my videos, because I consider to be myself as an average student, and I would have really enjoyed such kind of videos if I was in your situation, if I was preparing for this exam. But those days there was no geo, there was no good amount of resources on internet. So that is why I feel that I should make these videos, so that if somebody is in my situation, in my similar situation, that person gets an advantage, that person gets a way of looking at the things which would help him or her in their preparation. So this was the idea of this video. Now obviously I am doing a lot of live sessions on my channel, and I'm making a lot of different kinds of videos. So reach out to me in the YouTube comments or send me an email, uh, and connect me on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever place you find me on, because I am available on almost every social network. So whenever you find me, just ping and say hello, I need help on this, and I'll be glad to help you. And trust me that I have already put a lot of resources on my YouTube channel already. So even if you don't watch my future videos, your preparation would be taken care of. So that is why I have not been making a lot of videos about ISI MSQ these days, because I have kind of exhausted the essential resources for ISI MSQE, and everything which I will make in future videos will be more like hand holding and less like resource pointing and tips or guidance. It will be more like hand holding. So, and I'm not the best person to hand hold people to a task or to a goal, but still that is a learning curve for me, and I will do that in future. And I am reading Variant again, and I will be making essence videos of Variant chapter wise, so watch out for that. So if you are interested in future content related to maths, economics, finance, data, ISI, CMI, PGDBA, CAT, JE, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you again in another video. Bye bye.